I'm not normally a really heavy, thoughtful person on my channel. I mean, there have been a few heavy subjects that I've hit. The majority is light and fun and airy and a lot of laughter and understanding. Um, but I wanted to get a little heavy today, um, and make mention of something that's really important and to make something understood. I have panic attacks and anxiety attacks due to other problems in my life, and it is very detrimental to your head sometimes, and you feel utterly alone. Uh, to preface this video, I'm letting you guys know right now, I will get emotional. This is going to happen. There's going to be tears, but it's okay. Um, uh, Last night I had a very hard attack. My my chest swelled, and not because of the big boobs. Uh, it tightened. I couldn't breathe, and it was just I fell to the floor in such pain and panic and heartache. It is very difficult to feel like you cannot go to anybody, and a lot of the times I do feel like I can't go to anybody. I'm usually down here alone, and I don't have anyone really to get it. Mental health is a very big deal with me, being bipolar and a bunch of other different things, and it's very hard to deal with it sometimes. But a quote in a video from Howie Mandel shared his experience a few weeks ago. He made a video and posted it on Facebook. It was a white wall video. He was in black and white, and explained that he's a germaphobe and he has OCD because of it, and then they explained a lot of different issues that had to do with it. And he was on Howard Stern, who, by the way, is an asshole, and they were recording and said that, you know, he can't walk through that door because he can't touch it because it's an OCD thing, and they were recording him this entire time, didn't tell him, and he ran out to the street, and he was so embarrassed and just was contemplating suicide and running in front of traffic and just dying right there, because he kept this under wraps for a very long time. And then someone heard his broadcast and went up to him and says, "You have OCD? So do I." And that was most I understand that feeling more than anybody else, to know that you have someone to go to understand your problem. I unfortunately don't feel that way. I don't feel like I can go to anybody because I don't like to bother anybody with my problems. You know, a lot of other people have it worse than I do. There are people who are homeless. There are people who have no food, no money, no nothing. There are people that are so mentally more damaged than I am that cannot function on their own. And I've been very blessed with my situation a few years ago to move back home. I was in financial straits. I was not mentally healthy. I'm putting that in there right now. And that was 4 years ago. And I've been home ever since. And I've been very blessed to have my family. But having been said that, I feel more like a burden than anything else. When you're in that state of panic, you don't know who to call, you don't know who to talk to, and because of how I am, it is very difficult, very, very difficult to feel like you can go to somebody. I am a few years delayed, and I am very difficult to deal with because there are sometimes I'm like a kid, and I can't help it. It's just the chemical thing of how it works. And do not get me wrong. I have some great understanding friends that get it, like the Interweb girls who are my collab channel, who are amazing, amazing, amazing women. But struggling with mental illness is a problem. And no one wants to talk about it because no one wants to deal with it and no one wants to understand it, honestly. There is a stigma for girls and men like myself that we get labeled crazy. And I am called crazy more times than I would like to count in my daily life. And it is difficult. I try to saunter on and put a smile on my face and focus onto my work. I work for Origami Owl, which has saved my life in so many different ways. I cannot begin to thank my mentor and the co-founders, Chrissy and Bella Weems, who have inspired me in so many ways. But however, you get called crazy, you get called insane, you get called too emotional, you get called batshit, and I have carried batshit crazy like a banner to take it back as not an insult, but as something that can make me stronger. And some days it's not easy. Some days the words can hit you like a wrecking ball, not to quote Miley Cyrus. Some days I'm like the Berlin Wall just coming down hard, and people just say things, and they leave you out of things because they don't want to deal with you on that level. Now, the reason why I'm getting so real about this is because I don't want mental health to go away. I don't want people to ignore it. I don't want people to think that it's not that big of a deal. People with emotional issues like myself, it can be very debilitating if you do not know how to handle it. And obviously, I'm not having a good day. That's just how this is. I'm not having a good day. We need to have a better understanding and a conversation about mental health and people with mental issues, and not to just throw it under the rug. I really want that to change. In New York State, a lot of programs for mental health are getting shut down because the government doesn't care about it. And people like me, or worse, like people with schizophrenia or autism or other things, autism not a mental disease, but you know what I mean. People with learning disabilities or mental disabilities, to put a final point on it, are getting shoved out of the way, and it feels like, they don't care. I'm fighting every day to be like everybody else, and sometimes it's not easy. But I'm here to say that I have a mental disorder, but I'm not the disorder itself. It's hard to deal with, and there are days that I don't want to get out of bed, and there are days that I don't want to function like a normal human being. But then I think about the things that make me happy. Live band once a week, my job, the people that are my true friends, and my mother, who has supported me in so many ways since I was born. And my goals in life are small: to have my own place and to have my own car. Those are the goals I want, and will achieve, because they see me and they think that's never going to happen. People tell me all the time that I will need to be taken care of my whole life. Well, I'm here to say that that is not going to happen. I will not have someone take care of me and chauffeur me around and think that I am just a child needing to be taken care of. I have childlike qualities, yes, but I'm not a kid. I'm a 30-year-old woman with a mental disorder. I'm bipolar, I'm over-emotional, I have neurological issues, and I'm learning disabled. But none of that means that it defines who I am. It helped shape the person that I am, but it is not who I am. So I would say to anyone who knows somebody with a mental disorder or a mental problem, get to know them. Don't label them. Don't call them crazy. Get to know that person that's there. Because if you don't, you're just perpetuating something that might not be the truth. I'm gonna go. Thanks for listening. Thanks, guys. Bye.